What's going on? It's Jim. We're going to do a comparison video today on two bikes. That is the KBO Breeze right here in front of me and the Aventon Pace 500 that I previously reviewed. Put some footage of each in here as I'm talking about comparing these. Going to get you some real detailed data, some comparison points, some performance data, and a bunch of stuff to hopefully help you make a decision between these two bikes, because they are really both kind of commuter oriented e-bikes with a sort of a budget price point. The KBO Breeze here is $1,499, and then the Aventon Pace 500 is $1,599. But if you try to equip it as the KBO Breeze comes equipped, that price pushes it up over $1,800, and those are from parts sourced from Aventon as referenced on that table. Sizing between these two bikes is kind of interesting. With the KBO Breeze, you have two sizes in effect, but that is really, you have the step over frame, then a step through frame. Colors wise, you have a black or orange in the step over and then a white in the step through. With Aventon, you have a bit more size choices, which is a little unusual for this kind of budget e-bike category. You actually have five different size options in two frame styles and with five different color options. The companies, I really haven't had a chance to have any issues with either of these bikes to really test out that side of things, but KBO does have double the warranty. They are coming in with a 2-year warranty on this bike, which is pretty nice to give you that comfort for a company that maybe isn't quite as well known. So the battery here on the KBO Breeze, 48 volts, 16 amp hours, so it's a really huge battery. The Pace 500 has a smaller battery, 48 volts, 11.6 amp hours, but both of these were able to get over 40 miles of range for me riding. The brakes on these bikes aren't really that much of a differentiating factor, even though one's hydraulic and one's mechanical. Neither of them honestly have the best feel, and the braking distances were just basically neck and neck. Tires, not much of a difference. I actually got a flat during the review on both of these bikes. These bikes both have 500 watt geared rear hub motors with Altus derailleurs, even though the KBO has a 7-speed versus an 8-speed drivetrain for the Pace 500. The handlebar layout on both these bikes is actually quite different. The side mounted display, top mounted trigger shifter, and the grip, the twist throttle are quite a bit different. The Aventon does feel a little nicer up on the handlebars to me, but if you're a throttle only rider, having that twist throttle versus a thumb throttle would be a welcome change. At 8-speed, like I said, the 11 to 32, with a nice simple trigger shifter style. Simple, but they are locking grips. Pretty clean cockpit, and your control pad here with your throttle, the little thumb throttle. You do have places to put a rack, and I did have a rack on here. You don't have a place for a bottle holder, but they do give you with a few tools and such this little water bottle bracket that fits really only in a couple spots because of the diameter of it. But with the KBO, you get that nice rear mounted rack with a pannier rail. You get that water bottle cage. Got that front light, rear light. There's a big difference too between the weight of the bike. This bike is a little over 61 pounds. Well, the Pace 500 was in the mid 40 pound range, though as equipped I'd expect the weight to be still under 50 pounds on the Pace 500. So you're still looking at a 10 to 15 pound difference, which on a bike is quite significant. Performance wise, there's not a lot of difference between these bikes. The KBO was a little quicker timed, but it doesn't really feel much different. Some of that was related to the throttle on the Pace 500. Pace 500 brakes feel a little better in the hand, but that is just because they're hydraulic, but braking distances are virtually the same as was top speed. All right, here we're on the KBO Breeze. Nice gingerly cruise along here on American River Parkway. Assist level 2 is a real happy place if you're trying to abide by the speed limit of 15 miles per hour like I tend to like to do. And that's when I got nearly 70 miles of range. Over 60 going this speed, and assist level 1, right at 70. And I'll put the stats on the screen. But we went just about 36 miles, right, on that when we rode the other day?
Yeah, it was 36.
So I'll put that from that range. It was between levels 1 and 3, kind of riding in this 15 to 20 mile per hour range. Level 5, there's kind of like this thing kind of gets a little wild. Both of these bikes do transmit some vibration through the back end of the bike. This bike, having that front suspension, does a lot better job not transmitting all of that up to your body. So the Breeze versus the Pace 500, from a riding perspective, there isn't a whole lot of difference. The shifter's a little different, the side mounted control is a little different, but really the way the pedal assist engages is quite similar. The difference you're really going to see is between the weight of the bikes and how they handle. Just the Pace 500 being a lighter bike rides like a lighter bike. So there's pluses and minuses to each. To me, the only reason I would choose the Pace 500 over this KBO Breeze is if you needed the size options and the color, one of the other colors really stood out to you. The little differences in shifters and brakes, they don't really make a significant difference in the way the bike rides. So they really ride quite similar. And with this bike, you get so much extra stuff. Yeah, so you get extra accessories, extra range, and you get a few extra dollars in your pocket. But there you have it. That's a Pace 500 versus the KBO Breeze. You know, just buy one of them. Ride a bike. Do some stuff. Have a good time.